Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I wanted to cover off the new stuff that's been happening over at Sushi. It's been a long bear market, but they haven't stopped building. So, their Twitter account just seems to be releasing upgrade after upgrade, always something new. So let's take a look at what they've been doing and, whether it's something you might consider buying now that the market's starting to look bullish, right? Let's start with the basics, shall we? So here's the main website, and a key figure here that I really love is that it's been running now for 1182 days, which is 3 years, 3 and a bit years, and they're still there, still working. The protocol is still surviving, community still active, the DAO still running, the protocol is collecting fees, it's able to pay for the devs and everybody else that works behind the scenes. So that is a good thing. They are self-sufficient, which is pretty rare these days in DeFi, if you think about it, because you see all these protocols raising money, and Sushi hasn't gone and done that. So once you enter the main website, if you haven't been here for a while, you probably noticed that user interface has changed a bit. The styling's changed, and things have been upgraded, but it's still quite familiar. It's got that simple swapping form there, where you have the coin that you want to swap into, which is the one down the bottom. So let's start over here in the top right. You'll have your wallet and then the chain that you're on. This is the chain list. So if you go and count all these, there's 32 of them, which is impressive. There's actually one that was recently announced that is missing. That's Zeta Chains. That's not on this list as yet, but that was announced a couple of days ago. And the interesting thing about the Zeta chain is that you can do native Bitcoin swaps on it. So that'll be interesting to see how Sushi implements that. There's two new chains here that have got released this week. Aptos was just talked about on their Twitter account today. Filecoin was yesterday. Other new ones that have come on recently, Scroll, the new ZKVM chain from Polygon. These are ones up the top here, probably the most popular. And then as you go down the list, not so popular amongst the DeFi natives, but they are there if you want to trade on them. So once you've picked your chain of choice, let's switch to Ethereum. Familiarity. So you have the trade here, current prices. Make sure that you check this out before you get amongst it, which is the slippage tolerance. So that is the amount of money that you're prepared to watch price move once you make the trade. You don't want to set this too high, especially if the pool is quite big. Pools that have low liquidity, you may need to increase the slippage a little bit, but don't go crazy because you'll get MEV sandwiched and you'll lose money on the trade, thanks to arbitrage bots and sandwich bots and stuff like that. So, 0.5% is usually good. 0.3. This part here, you can type in whatever you want. So let's go 0.3. The amount of, let's say we want to swap 1 ETH, we can buy this many. So down the bottom, you've got the price impact. Keep an eye on that. As long as your slippage tolerance here is more than this, then the trade should go through. And this is the number you need to be concerned with. So that's the minimum that you'll receive. So this is how much you should get, but with slippage and if worst case scenario, you should get this. This is the amount that you're going to pay in terms of fees, and you can view the routing here. The second thing, which is fairly new that we'll talk about, is cross-chain swap. So that is here, but you need to activate it. You need to turn this little toggle on. The cool thing about this is not only is this a bridge, but you can swap tokens from one bridge to the other, not just move them across, but actually swap them across. So you can go from, say, ETH on the ETH chain, and then on the other side, you would get Arbitrum on Arbitrum 1. You might want to get, say, what else have we got here? I know Tether, right? So you can go from ETH on Ethereum to Tether on Optimism. Not bad. One thing I will point out, though, is that if you're going, say, to or from Polygon, it can be slow. and that's just because of the chain itself, not because of anything that Sushi's doing. But moving tokens on and off Polygon seems to be the slowest. It's around between say 10 and 30 minutes on average, depending on congestion on the chain. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, pretty handy tool. Like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 chains you can go from and to. Yeah, you don't need to use any bridges. It's all in one transaction. You do have to pay for, gas across both chains, but pretty handy. All right, we'll turn this off for now. Let's go and let's say we want to swap to USDC. So I just want to highlight what they've done recently with their aggregator. So built in behind all of this is Sushi's own aggregator. So an aggregator is something that sources liquidity from multiple spots and tries to give you the best price. So say something like 1inch would be probably the most well-known popular aggregator that exists. If you buy, or if you want to sell 1 ETH to USDC, and you just have a look at the routing, 100% of it is going to go through Sushi Swap, right? Because there's only selling 1 ETH. But let's say we bump up the volume. So that is a lot. Price impact is 12%. Now you can see the routing here. So we're starting with ETH, but then 5% goes through Uniswap V2. Some of it goes through Sushi Swap V2. Some of it goes through Uniswap at the 0.3% into USDT, and 1% of it goes through this USDT pool. All right, let's have a look at the made-up scenario where we're going to trade $50 million in one swap. You would never do this, but just to force the algorithm into choosing some more optimal routes, let's have a look. So doing this, you're going to lose 8.9%, right? Let's have a look at the routing. So it starts with USDC to USDT on Uniswap V2. We got another Uniswap V2 pool going from USDC to wrapped ETH. There's some more going into Uniswap V3 0.01% fee pool. There's more going through a V3 0.05. 60% of the swap is going from USDC to ETH and then probably back out again if we go down further. Here it is coming back out into Tether. It's using lots of Uniswap pools. We're going into DAI here. We are using Sushi Swap's pool from ETH to Tether. So it's doing its best to split up the order across multiple pools to get the best fill rate. But again, $50 million in one trade, I mean, you would never do it, but you can see what it's trying to do here. So when the price is favorable for the user, it's going to split up the order across multiple pools. And sometimes it means using other liquidity sources that aren't Sushi. Reading through the Discord and the documentation on that routing algorithm that Sushi's put together, it says that the Sushi algorithm is biased to its own pools. So what that means is that, let's say somebody has launched a token on Uniswap and there is no liquidity on Sushi, but somebody went to Sushi to trade it, you'd still be able to trade it, number one. But number two, if people start catching on to the fact that people are trading it on Sushi, you could add a liquidity pool on Sushi. It wouldn't even have to be very much, but if you added in a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000, every single trade would run through your pool first before it went to Uniswap or anywhere else where the liquidity was grabbed for, and you would get a ton of fees for doing it. So not a bad initiative. I like that. So, if you're an LP looking for creative ways to make money, that could be another one. Right, so I think that swap's taken care of. So let's go up here to the menu and have a look at the next thing. So this is pools. This is where all the liquidity pools are. Now, pretty standard stuff. Nothing much has changed between, the pool structure from before. So still V2 pools, which is the standard automated market maker pools. You can add and remove liquidity. You can stake your LP. which for this pool's example, if you stake, you get a share of the sushi rewards that are on offer, total of 27% APR currently. And then, yeah, here's the unstake. Over here will be how much you've got staked and unstaked, and here's your claim button. Down the bottom, we've got volume, TVL, fees, and the APR. There's some statistics here, all good stuff, and some historical transactions. So swaps, adds, and removes. You can filter the list at your leisure. Across the top, you can do sorting by various columns, and you can search for your favorite coin. Let's just say we want to do punk. So it searches for all the pools that have punk in it. Up the top, we've got V3, V2, and Trident and Stable Classic pools. So V3 pools are the concentrated liquidity pools. And these pools down here, also the ones with these little symbols, have farm rewards. And then you got these little symbols here which talk about smart pools. So let's have a look at this one, because this has both. So this one has a total of 61% APR at the moment. So 41 or 45% of that is from fees, and then there's sushi rewards on top of that. So it says this pool has been activated to leverage our smart pool feature. Smart pools are designed to optimize the allocation of liquidity within the customized ranges, thereby improving trade efficiency. They achieve this by enhancing liquidity depth around the current price, which results in higher fee earnings for liquidity providers and allows the market to dictate the distribution of LP positions based on rational decisions. To create a smart pool position, click here. So we do that. So we can choose from one of the available strategies. So for this one, the available strategy is moving volatility pool. So this strategy uses recent trading data to form a Keltner channel. So you can think of this as an automated LP adjustment tool. So as the price moves down, or so does the liquidity range, so the price range for where your orders will sit. And you don't have to touch it. It's automated by this smart pool system, which means that it keeps your liquidity within range, because if it moves out of range, you don't actually earn any fees or any rewards because your liquidity isn't used for any trading activity. Down here, we've got, the current reward structure for this pool. So there's this much sushi, which was started 9 days ago, and it will end in 21 days. These rewards just go on epochs, basically. So it ends in 21 days, but it basically means that it'll just get restarted. And this, amount of sushi will be topped up again. All right, here's another pool. This is the USDC USDT pool on the Thundercore network. This strategy is a stable pool strategy. So what this one's going to do is keep the money as close to the dollar peg as possible. So different than the Keltner channel one. So as that one will move as price moves up and down, stable coins aren't supposed to be moving up and down. They're supposed to be, around $1. So you add the liquidity there, it'll keep it around that dollar for you. You want to just create your own V3 position. So you can just go up to here, create a position. Asks you what chain you want to be on, what the token is that you want to do. Then you can get to choose what fee tier you want to create, 1% or 0.3. 0.3 is pretty standard for most pools, but if you want to create a higher fee pool, then you can. And then obviously here is where you put in your price range. So minimum price and maximum price of sushi per ETH. We've also got this cool partnership here with Poolfish XYZ. So to get an estimate of the fees that you could earn based on the chosen parameters above, you can go into this Poolfish website, which is like a simulator, simulator calculator type thing. And it'll say, if you put, your money here in this price range in the pool, and as long as price stays there, you're going to get this many fees, or, based on the current trading activity, you should get this much in fees. This little menu here is the My Positions one. So if you did have existing liquidity positions on sushi, they would be tabulated here, and then you can manage them from there. So that's makes life easier. All right, let's pop up to the menu again and check out the next thing. So that's pay. Sushi Pay is really awesome, right? So this is something that anybody can use to pay people with. Now, it could be like a salary or a wage, or it could be like a vesting schedule, like tokens, right? So let's say, you want to hire somebody to do a job or whatever, and it might be part cash and part tokens, but you only get the tokens if you work for the company for 12 months or something, right? So you can say after the first year, we'll give you some of the project's tokens, and then every month after that, you can have some more. We're not going to give them to you straight away because you need to actually do some work. So, but it's all in a smart contract, and the person can see that you're actually going to go through with it and actually pay it. And then there's the other thing with just actually paying for salaries. It streams it to them. Click. All right. So here we go. Would you like to create a stream or a vest? So stream is a token linearly over time. And this is when you need to unlock funds in chunks, right? So if you got a single stream, you can say from a start date to an end date, the wallet that's going to get it, what you're going to send. You can stream from a wallet, however much, and then create the stream. What that does is creates an NFT, and the person that holds the NFT has the authority to be able to withdraw the funds at any time. So the funds are unlocked, every block. So a person can pay themselves whenever they want, in fact. So, but if you don't want that to happen, then you would use something like vesting, where the start date would be here and pay out per unlock, a number of unlocks. So it might be monthly. You might want to pay somebody monthly, and it could be anything, right? And if you want to have a cliff in there, it could be the end of the cliff. So it might be, we'll pay you monthly, but you're not going to get your first lot until 12 months after it starts. Just to finish off, I wanted to go through the Sushi Twitter feed because there's a lot of cool stuff going on. So I spoke about Aptos. They've recently been listed on this new DEX called Hyperliquid. So you can do 10x leverage now on Sushi if you want to trade it. Linear is a new blockchain that they've connected with. So there's a Galaxy campaign right now where if you do a bunch of tasks, you get NFTs and points. There's the Aptos message, which I spoke about before. The guys have AMAs nearly every week. So that's always good to tune into and check out. So this new partnership with Sushi and the Algebra DEX engine is equivalent to what Uniswap is doing currently with their Uniswap v4, which is this plugins architecture. So Algebra's integral integration brings modular-based architecture to the DEX, so developers and projects can seamlessly implement plugins, ensuring Sushi Swap leads DeFi trends. The plugins market is set to be a key trend in 2024. Sushi isn't building the plugin stuff. This is the Algebra team that are going to do that and form a partnership with Sushi. There's a link to it here which explains how it all works and the benefits and who gets what in terms of fees and things. But this sort of stuff keeps Sushi competitive in the market without having their core team to be stretched beyond their limits. It also means the Sushi treasury doesn't have to be stretched beyond its limits by hiring more devs to do more things to be competitive with other more well-funded teams. So this is a good partnership, I think. So we'll see how the vote goes. All right, lastly, let's talk about the chart. If you liked all that stuff and you're thinking, well, maybe I want to get involved, then this chart will be important. So don't think you're late to the party because price really hasn't taken off yet. So the bull market is starting to heat up. We've seen what's been happening with Bitcoin and especially the Solana ecosystem. That is taking off like crazy, right? So everything after breakpoint for Solana has just really put a spotlight on what's going on, and all these new protocols are coming online and offering airdrops and launches, and it's all very hype at the moment. But as far as Ethereum tokens, especially DeFi, the old school DeFi tokens, they're all still at the bottom. So you're still early. And again, if you're buying like Sushi, along with say other older teams like Link and Maker and Aave that have been around for a while and have survived and are still building and iterating. It's only a matter of time before people catch on and start buying this stuff again. Because as we know, with the bull markets of the past, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? It's just a matter of how much percentage-wise it's going to go up. Is this thing going to go to all-time highs again? I'm not sure. I don't know. It could. The thing to keep in the back of your mind, though, is that all-time high for sushi is about 20-ish. The problem back here in 2021 is that the circulating supply was a lot less than it is now. So market cap wise, even if we got up to about $10, it's probably going to be the same market cap because there are more coins in circulation. That would be my only gripe with it. So it may not get back up there, but who knows? You never know. People are talking about having like a $5 trillion market, in total. And, some people think Bitcoin's going to go to 500,000. Some people think it's going to go to 200,000. We don't know where this thing's going to go. But what I do know is that this chart is at the bottom. So the absolute bottom of this is around 50, 60 cents. We're now at $1.07. We're back in this range here where everything has been since May of 22. So it's been a while. If you think sushi is going to get above $1.60, that's when the fun starts happening and we start moving up. Sushi isn't in an isolated market though, right? Sushi isn't the sort of coin that's going to moon on its own. And there's still heavy correlation with a lot of the other coins. So it's more of a market-wide thing. But what I am suggesting that, have sushi on your shortlist because not only, has the team been around forever and it's a protocol that actually produces revenue, this token in the new tokenomics, if it passes, grants you fees from the protocol because sushi is a DAO. So even in the old tokenomics, 1/6 of the fees was passed to the ex-sushi holders. So a similar thing will happen again if it gets voted in. Okay, so that was it. That was a quick catch-up on the Sushi protocol. Hope you found it informative. Go and check it out. Do some swaps on there. See if you like the look and feel of it all. Especially check out that cross-chain swap feature. That's really handy, especially in these times when there's a new layer 2 that seems to pop up every week. Makes it really easy to get move your tokens around and use the new things that exist on the new chains. All right, guys. Thanks. Talk to you in the next one.